Hello guys, and welcome back to another episode of BadBandCook. Today I'm going to demonstrate on how to make shiitake mushroom and chicken spring rolls. And we're going to start off with boiling our shiitake mushrooms. I had already soaked them and I boiled them for a couple of seconds just to make them tender. And I'm draining all the moisture out and I'm going to let them cool and put them on the side. I'm going to put back the mushroom broth in the pan, and that's going to be used for the dipping sauce later. And meanwhile, I'm going to wrap up some nori seaweed. It's the same seaweed you use for sushi making as well, and it imparts a subtle umami flavor, and it also has a bit of a sweetness, which is really nice in the sauce and comes through very well. I've added up some ginger pieces as well, and the greens of some spring onions. I let that infuse for about 15 minutes or so. Once that's done, I put this back on the heat, and then I add the other condiments. So this is mushroom soy sauce. I also added some sesame oil and some chili bean paste. Lastly, a little bit of distilled white vinegar goes in, and then you simmer it for a couple of minutes, and that's the dipping sauce done. Next, I have the greens of some spring onions, and I'm just plucking them off the spring onion, and you'll see in a bit why we'll need them. So on a separate chopping board, I'm going to start off with prepping my chicken. I'm just removing some extra bit of fat that's on the chicken breast. I'm going to cut through the center of the chicken just to make it even. And at this step I decided to sharpen my knife because obviously you need a sharp blade to cut through the meat. So I'm chopping the meat by hand for a reason, and that is to tenderize the meat. So I like that I have control over the texture, which is why I chose to chop it. You can even put it in a food processor and blitz it until you get the texture that you desire. So once the chicken's all minced up, I transfer that into a bowl and wash my chopping board. Next, I'm just dicing up my shiitake mushrooms. In go some julienne gingers, which I'm going to also dice. And I've got a garlic press here, and I'm going to add about 2 or 3 garlic cloves. Along with that, some mushroom soy sauce, some light soy sauce, and some chili bean oil. So give that a mix. And then I add in an egg just to bind everything together. And finally some sesame seeds for some texture. Next I have some ready rolled spring roll sheets, and I'm just cutting them diagonally. Now I devised my own method on how to fill up my spring rolls. I didn't really do much research on that. So I did what works best with me. I mean, if you have a better method, you can definitely apply that. I'm just making a paste of flour and water, just so my pastry sticks together when I fold it. So in goes a little dollop of the filling, and then I just roll it, and basically it's not rocket science. Here I have the greens of the spring onion, and they're not poached, so I just wanted to quickly demonstrate on how you can use the green bits to garnish your spring rolls. So basically, once they're done, you can leave them in the freezer for a couple of hours to firm up, and once that's done, you can fry them. So I decided to serve them in a prawn cracker shell. It's a cute and fancy way to do so, because you can, after you're finishing eating the spring roll, you can dip the prawn cracker